within the Milky Way. There may be thousands of planets that resemble Earth and may even be inhabited, or they may one day become a new home for humans. Life on Earth will probably become more difficult as we approach eras that will be defined by climatic change, whether it be natural disasters, overpopulation, epidemics, or other processes. The fact is that our planet will be too hot to support organic life for at least a few 100,000 years, even if travel to other planets is still an option today. Unimaginable scientists are searching for a new Earth. NASA discovered a planet in the TOI 700 system that is thought to be a new super-Earth. Today, we explore whether the far-off planet TOI 700d is habitable. Music. The most Earth-like of all exoplanets found in 2020, TI 700d was found by NASA's Transiting Exoplanet Survey satellite, also known as TESS. Since then, the planet has gained attention in the hunt for extraterrestrial life because it is essentially safely in the habitable zone of its star and may contain liquid water, which is one of the prerequisites for the emergence of life as we know it. Let's examine some additional features that could make the exoplanet TI 700d a habitable planet at 101. 4 years of light. The planet revolves around an M-class star that is roughly 0.412 solar masses and 0.4115 solar radii in size. The star is much smaller than our Sun, but the planet is closer to it than we are, so its orbital period lasts only 37.4 days, making a year on TOI 700d slightly longer than a month on Earth. However, this does not have to stop habitability and the emergence of life. There would undoubtedly be different cycles of seasons and vegetation there, if there are any plants at all. Let's move on to the planet's size, which is about 1.7 Earth masses. Although the temperature and the precise makeup of the atmosphere are unknown, the exo-world is slightly heavier and larger than Earth. Previous measurements indicated that the rock composition may be similar to our own. Additionally, since TI 700d is most likely in the habitable zone of its star, the surface temperatures may be mild enough to support liquid water. We now know that an extremely fortunate confluence of many circumstances made the emergence of life possible. However, the numerous water discoveries in our own star system give us hope that water is also present on many other planets. To truly say with certainty that TOI 700d is a super-Earth, we need to know more about the exact composition of the planet's atmosphere or the strength of the planet's magnetic field. These opportunities are provided by the new technological possibilities. Fresh worlds. The test mission. TESS and the Toyota 700d were found. Aboard April 18, 2018, Elon Musk's space company SpaceX launched NASA's Transiting Exoplanet Survey spacecraft into orbit aboard a Falcon 9 rocket. TESS's main objective was intended to be completed in just 2 complete years, from 2018 to 2020. Because of the overwhelming success and the satellite's continued good condition, TESS was designed to detect exoplanets. The mission has already been extended twice. TESS's sensors examine the sky close to the ecliptic, making it simple to identify exoplanet transits in front of their stars during the mission. As a result, TESS has already found 50 tiny, Earth-like exoplanets. Scientists from all around the world utilize the test results to investigate the characteristics of exoplanets and their atmospheres and to gain a better understanding of how planets form and change outside of our solar system. NASA refers to the observation satellite's highly elliptical orbit around the Earth as a P2 orbit. TESS is in an Earth-bound orbit that is between 108,000 and 373,000 kilometers from Earth. In contrast, communication and weather satellites operate at a distance of only about 36,000 kilometers from the Earth's surface. TESS's orbit is set up so that the satellite passes Earth every 27.4 days and examines a new region of the sky during each orbit of the planet. The test mission was and is a huge success. and not just because of the promising TOI 700D world. By the way, TESS found 4 more exoplanets in the TOI 700 system, TOI 700b and TOI 700c, which are not in the habitable zone. TESS's elliptical orbit allows the satellite to scan almost the entire sky without being affected by the brightness of the sun. This allows TESS to look for planets orbiting stars that are very faint as seen from Earth. In fact, the transit method can only detect exoplanets when they become visible as small obscurations in front of their stars. The James Webb Space Telescope, which was launched in 2022, will set new standards in the study of exoplanets. Specifically, the telescope can detect water in the atmospheres of exoplanets. One of the mission's main goals is to study the atmospheres of exoplanets and look for biomarkers that could indicate the presence of life. And the most important biomarker is water. In addition, James Webb can detect circumstances that speak against the presence of water or life-toxic gases in the atmosphere, or other chemical compositions can provide clues. In order to study the atmospheres of exoplanets, the Space Telescope analyzes the light reflected from the planets. If the planets pass in front of their stars, they appear as tiny dots and scatter light, creating a characteristic glow. It is currently difficult to predict when the James Webb Telescope will observe the recently discovered TOI 700D because the telescope is an international project, and hundreds of scientists worldwide are entitled to a share of the observing time. Aura for each planet. The light of the star in the background shines through the atmosphere and the closer environment of the exoplanet, causing changes of the light rays. Water molecules generate very specific wavelengths, just as any other gas or element also generates a specific wave spectrum. If it turns out that the TOI 700D is a water-rich exo-world with an atmosphere similar to Earth, then what practical steps could we Earthlings take to reach this world contact with exoplanets? If we were confident that the TOI 700D was a potentially habitable or even inhabited world, scientists would try to make contact at a distance of just over 100 light-years. The TOI 700 system is more or less in our cosmic neighborhood, but it is still incredibly far away when measured against our technological capabilities. Perhaps another telescope will be faster, because the European Southern Observatory's Super Telescope is expected to begin operations in the Chilean Atacama Desert next year. The nearest star, Proxima Centauri, is only about 4 light-years away from us, but it is difficult to predict when this will be possible at this time. The radio signal can never travel faster than light, so if it were received by entities living there, it would be more than 100 years away. If they did respond, it would likely travel more than 100 years again, unless an even more advanced civilization living there had other ways to contact us, like flying with spaceships to 700. Of course, this would be a dream if the planet should truly be a second Earth or inhabited by friendly aliens, but it would be more than 100 years away. Technicians are working on the advancement of the warp drive. In theory, this already exists in the form of the Alcubierre drive. However, this is currently still the problem of energy. All functional warp systems to date are hypothetical propulsion, systems that would require so much energy that the demand would approach infinity in 2022, a team of U.S. researchers announced that they had succeeded for the first time in creating a tiny warp bubble in their laboratory. Now all we have to do is turn fractions of micrometers into measures of length, and we're ready to go, all kidding. Aside and I may live to see the first humans land on Mars and the first lunar station populated by humans, but the first warp spaceships probably won't be whizzing through space for another few hundred years. We will probably have to make ourselves comfortable on Earth for that long. Although horror stories about the climate, the environment, and the scarcity of resources are pouring in this planet, also offers all kinds of advantages to enjoy. Or what do you think? Do you think that mankind has to hurry to find another cosmic home? Or do you think that the fear for the Earth and for our continued existence is unfounded? We welcome your opinions and ideas on the topic in the comments. See you next time at Simply Space.